Alright. Oh, hey, it just started raining. Might rain a little bit, might even thunder a little bit, but I believe it shouldn't be too bad today. I hope I am right. Okay, I went ahead and actually completely wiped the save this time. And let's actually remember that we like this mode, but oops. That was a misclick. I accidentally pressed two buttons at the same time here. Shot with X, select with Y, cancel with select. That may sound counterintuitive, but pretty much every speedrunner does this. Especially here on the Wii U gamepad, where select is right down next to the start button, and my fingers are big enough that if I go to select, I'm probably going to accidentally pause the game.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Iconic! I wanted to remain silent throughout that whole thing just to have that introduction injected into my veins. I mean, seriously, how could you ask for a better first experience to a video game? Oh, hey, about friggin' time we got our garbage picked up. we just got our garbage truck company switched out. I think their route may be different than the first guys because they're a lot later than us, than they were, than the previous guys were. Eventually, I'll learn how to speak English. All right, Nukem, you remember my playthroughs of another Metroid 2 remake, right? If you remember properly, you'll notice that this game picks up directly after the events of that game. Like, moments later. You're supposed to lose this fight. You can win if you want, but you won't really accomplish anything. But yes, this game picks up directly after the events of Metroid 2. The difference in time between Metroid 1 and Metroid 2 are much, much greater. In fact, the entire Metroid Prime trilogy, and I believe the fourth one as well, takes place between 1 and 2. You have not watched me play those yet. That was a pretty good escape. By my standards, anyway. The amount of time and effort that it would actually take to be one of the greatest players in the world is just so far beyond what I'm willing to give for one game, even this one. As much as I love it, I don't love one game that much. You know, I have to have other games in my repertoire in order to be happy. Yes, Metroid games know how to set a mood, and it's normally not a very happy one. But it's not like overly depressing. Or dark, grim, whatever word you'd like to use. Metroid Prime 2's story is very dark in the literal sense. And probably in the figurative sense too. It might be the darkest game. As I mentioned throughout my previous stream that you weren't here for, I am physically incapable of playing this game normally. I can't do it. I've logged so much time and effort into at least attempting to be a decent speedrunner that I can't play it normal. This is not a walkthrough. In no way am I going to be teaching you how to play this game like a normal person. Orb! Yep, that's the one. I hope I remember my 100% route. I mentioned on Discord that my any percent run, you know, with nobody watching, which allowed me to just kind of lock in as if I was taking it seriously all over again, was decent enough that it made me think, you know, if there's still a lot of time between now and the release of Metroid Prime 4, maybe I can spend, you know, the last few days leading up to it trying to speedrun Super Metroid again. The most obvious thing to do would be speedrun 100%, because I still don't have my sub 90 in 100% yet. Of course, I wouldn't be doing it on the Wii U. I could dig my SNES Classic out of the basement if it's even still there after it flooded. I think it's all right. But I probably don't have to. Nintendo kind of obsoleted the NES and SNES Classics just with the Switch Virtual Console being the way it is. And I have the 8-bit do controller compatible with the Switch, which has a D-pad that's virtually identical to that of the SNES. Oh, heck that up. That controller, in theory, should be fine for those purposes. Boom. You remember this guy, right? It's Torizo. This is the only official game that I think Torizo appears in. Unless the official Metroid 2 remake that I haven't played yet, because it's on 3DS. That's one of my favorite moves to do, and I've always been really good at it. Alright, as I said, you're not going to be learning how to play this game normally. E. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say E, because you're going to be hearing that a lot. I'll say E on a any percent run, but not this. It'll get way too irritating. I don't need to say that 28 times. Alright, time to demonstrate the mock ball. Which allows you to completely skip a boss. Oh, that wasn't the best way to just do that, but got the job done. You're not supposed to be able to get that until you have the speed booster. Reserve tanks, which are such a popular feature of this game that they were never implemented again in another Metroid game. Basically, they're fail-safes, so that if you run out of health, if you run out of normal health, they'll kick in and replenish some of your health again. But the general consensus by, I think, both the fans and Nintendo themselves is, well, why not just make more energy tanks? I mean, like, what is even the point of having health on top of health? There's a lot of crazy that I'm not going to be doing because it involves Moonfall. You can actually trigger, you can actually, in the settings options, there is a moonwalk option. The game was made in 1994, okay? you can't call yourself a video game in 1994 without a moonwalk option. But it allows you to actually completely screw with the game. But most of those techniques were discovered only within like the past I don't know, 6 years or so. So nothing I would have ever like learned on my own, just getting better at the game by myself with no help from YouTube, which didn't even exist at the time. I mean, I've been playing this game for a very long time, like for 5 years before YouTube ever existed. I've always considered myself mostly self-taught. I say mostly because I did not learn the mock ball on my own. Right, there's some speed tech that I have implemented from, you know, other sources. Not that they're trademarked or anything, but, you know. I just take pride in being mostly self-taught, but, you know, that can only take you so far. I hope you can already get a sense of how satisfying this is to get good at. For my money, this is the greatest speedrun game in the world. And that is reflected by how many people actively still run it. Oh, man. I know that Mario 64, I think, and Odyssey have more runners, and I think Super Mario Bros. 1, and oh my god, it's getting super dark. Maybe we are getting some bad storms. I've learned that rain in this part of the country works on a bit of a different system. It can get extremely dark in the middle of the day. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Mario 1, 64, and Odyssey, I think, are more popular today. But, like, with the amount of abilities Samus has, and you just, you know, gradually acquires over the course of the journey, I just find this to be more intrinsically enjoyable to get good at. I say enjoyable, not necessarily more impressive. In fact, not even close. If I can get good at this, I can't get good at Mario 64. The movement system in that game is, I mean, it worked well enough for the time, but it's quite dated. That's still so fun to get right. It's quite dated and really difficult to work with if you're not already familiar with it. Anyone able to master the movement system in Mario 64 to that extent already immediately has my respect. And of course, the fact that Green Suigi has mastered it that much more than anybody else is just mind-boggling. Speed. Speed. Oh wow, I got that one. Give. And what's the last letter in give? E. Oh, look, another one. And like any good Metroid game, they're gonna make you use the item you just picked up the moment you get it. Normally you can't make that gap, or you can't make that leap. Well, of course, unless you know how to wall jump, in which case everything is trivial. It's the wall jumping, too, in this game that makes getting good at it so satisfying. I don't know if you noticed, but I like this game. Some of the item placement is a little questionable, though. There's not even a white dot on that one, on the map. Somehow, though, my mother managed to find that all on her own. I learned of that missile's existence from her. Heck. That's almost a really solid escape from there. I'm not even timing myself, but I still am interested to see how well I can still play this game. I mean, why would it not be? That is one of the most random item locations in Metroid history. Which, again, is not punctuated by a red dot. Speed! Heck. There I go, clipping through that platform again. That happens all the time. Not surprised in the slightest. Wave. Jump button, please. And I must remember to actually go down and fight Crocomire first. Because I will need the grapple beam for one thing. Whee! Wait a minute. Crap. I did forget the routing. Yeah, I can't go that way yet because... I don't have power bombs. I can get them from here, though. Fun fact, there's actually no pink vertical door in this entire game. Perfect. Not perfect. Damn close to it, though. Very pleased with that. So yeah, that's an incredibly brutal scene that went way over my head when I was playing it at the age of 5. You know, just having so much fun with the game that I'm blissfully unaware of what's actually happening on screen. Also, look, I can wall jump off of nothing now. I can wall jump off of nothing there too. I didn't get a single super missile out of that, really. Whee! You don't even need any fancy moves to get here. Whoa! Oh, crap. That's gonna hurt. That's what I was trying to do, damage boost over there. Probably use a little healing. That wasn't healing at all. Oh my god, go! Now I gotta heal 5 chunks at a time. Good thing I'm not timing myself. Hey, Vic. Good thing I'm not timing myself. And that's why slopes should have been added to Super Mario Maker a lot faster. Oh, cool, you are still here. I thought you'd left me for WWE or something. Fantasy Sports, WWE, close enough. WWE is a fantasy sport. Oh, I can't actually... If I press R in midair, I can't actually... Alright, whatever, let's do it that way. But if you thought Crocamire's death was brutal, just irregular, wait till you see what I'm gonna do to him later. Nothing personal, it's just I can do it, so I will. Alright, I'll leave that one to you. Heartbreaking lap. Heck. Heck! Heck! Great if Spider Ball were in this game. come on. There we go. That's too far down, you moron. Just wasted a power bomb for no good reason. That is weird. Genuinely no idea why I even bothered killing those guys. They're not gonna give me a power bomb. Alright. Normally my route for 100% is to save this for a little bit later, but just in case I forget, I'm gonna get it now. There's one other item here over by Kraid's lair. That really has no business being there. I don't know who's gonna come back over here and just you know, see what's up, if there's actually a special item over here. There is. You need the power bombs to get it. Well, I say special item, I mean, you know. So yeah, the game will not register you having collected Chozo abilities twice, but you can absolutely keep collecting missiles, super missiles, and power bombs, and it will keep on counting up for you. Ouch. Here. There's a power bomb. I don't even know why I'm bothering. I'm about to pick up 10 more. Heck! What? Okay. Alright, here, wait. Let's not unfreeze the enemies. Here's where we get rid of Ice Beam for the time being. For a very specific reason. Which is that Phantoon will immediately disappear if we hit him with all 4 of those beams at once. We don't want that to happen because that makes the fight last longer. Okay. They actually got our recyclables first. But now we've got both of them done and, you know, pretty quick right on top of each other. Power bump. There's a reason why it's called the grapple beam. Because, yes, it can actually attack things. Wait, hold on before we continue. Whee! It's 3:25. Oh, you're so back. All right, I'm gonna do a weenie thing here and refill all my energy here. Pressing B immediately works as a negative, so I did not save the game there. Oops. Come on. You're supposed to have the grapple beam for this part, but you don't need it if you know what you're doing. I rarely screw that stuff up. That's again part of my self-taught nature. Yeah, you can just walk all over spikes because the ship hasn't been turned on yet. So none of these spikes hurt you. Hey! I love Silfredo jogging. I mean, I don't, but when it's this game and things feel like they're going all right. Whee! Really? Oh, okay. Great start. Great start. Unironically, great start in terms of luck. Execution, not so much. Yeah, I deserve one slow pattern, don't I? Much needed super missiles. Really, all you need to beat the game is 15. Well, really, all you need is 5 if you're really good. Heck. I don't know if I'm going to be joining you in any of these mini games. I'm just like inescapably in a speedrunner's mentality now, which means no unnecessary pauses. Ah. What's so strenuous that it requires 10 super missiles? Nothing really. But the boss fight against Dragon certainly is a lot easier with more super missiles. And trying to clip through the gate on your way to the screw attack. Anyway, this is a really, really annoying missile. Although I guess if the flow of gameplay is going to be interrupted every time I collect an item anyway, I can play poker with you. Heck, I didn't even really lose any time whatsoever. Whee! Aw, I thought maybe I would have built up enough speed to turn blue there. Anyway, I really don't need to be killing any enemies now, because that's the whole point of opening that door over there. Yeah, except this game does it longer. I'm sure you can tell just from watching that it can take years of practice to just know offhand where everything is in this game and how to get to it quickly. I'll go ahead and be a weenie this time and use the grapple beam. Yep. Well, it's not being a weenie, it's just making sure that the grapple beam actually gets used. If I have it, I may as well use it. Except, I won't be using the X-ray scope, because that's only useful if you don't know where some of the items in the game are. For me, it has no use whatsoever. You know gravity? This game doesn't. And thank you. Time to demonstrate a useless glitch. if you jump straight out of the door, you'll notice that there's a line in the sky that's glitched out. The game is not prepared to load that particular graphic because they expect you to just fall right out. Another thing I found out on my own as a child. With nothing better to do than to play an old video game even back then. Because you gotta remember, I was born like pretty much the same day as the Nintendo 64 and the PS1. Damage boost. This is colloquially known as the spiky room of death. I will not elaborate. Those platforms. Hey, they all worked for once. Oops. No, that's the pink door. This is not a pink door. Okay, so I'll demonstrate one of these. It's basically a little refill station for you. It's just on a 100% run. Normally, you don't need them. Because you're collecting stuff. A lot of stuff. Magenta elevator. Alright, after this room is usually when I turn the ice beam back on. Alright, you two can live. Don't feel too bad for them, because they'll infinitely respawn as soon as you re-enter the room, so it's not like I'm committing genocide or anything. There's plenty of them to go around. Ow. Here's where the grapple beam is actually a honest-to-God requirement. Wait, no. I get that later. It's more convenient and easier later. Oh, hey! Time to demonstrate the super missile gate clip. The 100% version of it, anyway. We do this somewhere else in the 90% route. At least I hope I demonstrate it correctly, because I don't always. These guys give you... power bombs and energy, not super missiles, so. Yeah. Well, heck. I gotta do it the normal way now. I can't stress enough, that's not a jank trick. Oh wait, hold on. Shake. It's not jank, it's just kind of hard to get right. Very precise. Really? Needless to say, this is where I would freeze the speedrun if this were actually serious. I was hoping to demonstrate standing on top of this. But no, unfortunately, you have to just do what we do normally, which is break it with a power bomb. Wait, I still need super missiles. Oh, heck me. I can't actually get the item up there without at least one super missile. Boy, am I butchering this. I usually save this for later as well, so. Okay, there are a couple enemies here that give you super missiles. And while we're here, we may as well... grab this. Now we head back. Jump. Shoot. And yo. See, that's where the X-ray scope is really important. That's where I detected that there were speed blocks just underneath that missile pack. My mother and I toiled for a long time trying to figure out how in the world to get that. Oh wait, hold on. Speaking of. You're supposed to use grapple beam, but I prefer that. That's a lot faster. Whee! Ah! Go! Just to demonstrate, oops. Every frozen enemy, if you wall jump off of them, you will shake them. That became a pretty good source of entertainment for my, you know, child self. And my extreme lack of empathy for pixels on a screen that vaguely resemble animals. I suck. Hermit crabs. You can only kill them with bombs. Any other weapon will just knock them around. Power bombs work too. Whee! Not too bad. Could be better. Oh! Ing Warriors! Cool! We beat a Metroid boss. How about it? Celebrate with E. Wait, I don't need any more of this. Force a habit from any percent. Ah, yes, indeed. You lost to a Dragon Ball OG character. Quit going... Yep, Dragon Ball OG. Mercenary Tao and King Piccolo are also from Dragon Ball OG in my Rolodex of bosses. My huge Rolodex. Dragon's much easier on 100%. I mean, everything's easy on 100%. The hard part is just consistently executing all the tricks you need. Like, say, the super missile gate clip. I can just stop moving around in my chair. It's so creaky. Maybe I just need a better chair. I don't know. I mean, this chair is still serviceable. I've been in worse chairs before. Hey, how do I do this part? I think I go back. Yeah, I definitely do. Don't shine spark in the quicksand. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna demonstrate to you what happens when you shine spark in quicksand. Any questions? Yes. Good news is, as soon as you pick up an energy tank, all of your health gets magically replenished. Where is the nearest energy tank? Actually, no, there's one coming up. It shouldn't take too long. Well, all of your health besides the reserve tanks. Anyway, that's what you actually need the grapple beam for. There is a way to cheese your way through. But it's very precise. I could attempt to fully implement it into my 100% route, and if I can actually consistently get it right, there's a really good chance I can get my sub 90. Oh. I have actually seen a ROM hack where a ROM hack of Super Metroid where the water replenishes your health. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately there's no way to speed that up. And that's another thing that my mother and I wondered for a really long time. What is even the point of that room? But yeah, that guy clears the path for you. So you can get the spring ball. You no longer need to bomb jump. You can just do this. Oh, yeah. The whole issue is carryover. Well, it wouldn't make sense for Galaxy to do that because... I mean, there's several levels / bosses that are just underwater, you know, like Kingfin, for instance, in Mario Galaxy 1. you want the boss to at least be a threat. Oh yeah, but there was an oxygen meter in Mario 64 too. Although Galaxy has a really long one. Yeah, I'd be impressed if you, like, you'd have to go out of your way to run out of oxygen in Super Mario Galaxy. Plasma! You wanna know something really weird? Plasma Beam is the only weapon that can hurt these pirates. But not charged plasma. You hit him with a charged plasma attack, you won't touch him. I have no idea why. I don't consider them to be sequels to each other. More like reimaginings. Ugh. Honestly, the only thing that Mario Galaxy 2 has necessarily over the first one is a far more climactic true ending in the form of Grandmaster Galaxy. I mean, of course it has different powers and everything, but I don't really consider the extra powers in Galaxy 2 to be all that much like crazy more fun. Most of the power-ups in Galaxy 1 were fun enough as far as I'm concerned. Wait, I don't feel like I did this route correctly. Maybe I am supposed to get the... energy tank back there first. I mean, it's a good thing I didn't, because this way I can recover all my health after demonstrating the stupidity. After demonstrating what happens when you shine sparking quicksand. May as well play it the normal way. I already hacked it up once. But yeah, there was an item I neglected to grab. Actually, two. And you're about to see the most stupidly randomly placed item in the entire game. So much so that it's the only item in the entire game I never found on my own. That missile right there. There's not even a vantage point where you can use the X-ray scope to find out that that's there. It's so random. Actually, technically there is, but you have to use the animal down there at a specific angle to actually find out that's there. Also, look, Buzzy Beetles! Buzzy Beetles! The Nintendo Cinematic Universe really does like to interconnect itself. Even if I wanted to try the Super Missile gate clip again here, you can't do that on the 100% route because then you're missing out on an item. Oh. For some reason I thought that you can't freeze them if you use Charge Beam. But no, I guess it was just those pink space pirates. This song was my absolute jam. Still is, to be honest. There's a reason why it gets remixed in most future Metroid games. Because it's a classic. All right. This is where Spring Ball comes in. As long as you're holding the jump button, you can't possibly screw that up. Dominoes. Ah! Super Missile! Which is the item you're supposed to use against this guy. But if you have Plasma Beam, you can pretty much just completely wail on him. This is gold, Torizo. As a youngin', my mother and I just referred to him as the hard guy. Because we couldn't figure out an easy way to beat him because, well, it is actually a pretty fast-paced and hectic battle, unless you know his dirty secret. Which, unfortunately, it's too late for me to demonstrate because I've already sort of hacked that up. But that was also before I even had tried out using Charge Beam as an attack on bosses. I don't know why I never thought of using Charge Beam against bosses, but I always thought that they required missiles and super missiles. Until, you know, eventually I tried out Charge Beam, like, oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. Screw attack! frame perfect. At this point, missiles are basically completely useless besides opening doors. Even super missiles are hardly useful with the charged plasma being around. This is affectionately dubbed the Mickey Room. I like the fact that it has two gargoyles at the bottom. It's almost like Nintendo predicted how evil that Disney would become. Because I believe in '94 they were still in the mid-Renaissance, as it were. They were still at the very top of their game. But Nintendo knew better. Oops. Wee. That's my last peppermint candy. And I haven't even started my second playthrough yet. That is such an ugly sound effect. But nothing compared to Metroid Fusion sound design. We'll get there. That's our next stream. I'm going to heck you up. Whoa, that attack actually hit. Dead. That still doesn't look very comfortable for Samus, but she didn't take damage from it. E. And it was hilarious how many times my mother and I would emphasize going back and saving our progress when I was first learning the ropes. The idea of using a save point in Super Metroid now is absolutely hilarious. I need to be careful with my words. I can't say saving in a Metroid game, because Fusion is significantly harder. And don't even get me started on Metroid Dread. Going through that whole game without saving? I don't know, buddy. Doesn't matter what difficulty you pick, there's 6 creatures, well 7, but in reality only 6, that have a chance to one-hit kill you. Although really, if you're not completely stupid, only 5 of them can really do that. Because the one at the start is meant to be super easy and, you know, get you acquainted and tutorialized. And then the one at the end is just dealt with in a cutscene because Samus is so cool! You can beat the game with only 27% of the items, as I demonstrated last time. You can beat the game with even less than that, actually. I just choose not to. With a pretty random item. Oh, it didn't happen that time. There's an extremely random quirk about shooting upwards from that spot. I hope to demonstrate it next time. I say demonstrate like I have that much control over it. I really don't. Just sometimes it happens, and it's all weird. Oop. Shake. I don't know how that works either. All right, hang on. Stretch break. Ugh. What the network error? What even was that restore point? What was I trying to get good at? The attic? Wait, oh no! I forgot to pause the recording for the YouTube audience. I'm sorry, YouTube audience. That's what you get when I haven't streamed in a good long while. been attempting to carve out a decent run as a poker player. Emphasis on attempting. Apparently, I suck at Hold'em. I long for the day that Omaha finally rightfully takes over as the most popular poker variant in the world. Then I can really shine. Because I can play Omaha. I can even play Omaha high-low pretty well. Hold'em? I don't know. Alrighty, X-ray scope. Let's go rescue you. How did I do that? This is the other song from this game that's remixed in every Metroid game ever. Deservedly so. That was stupid. That was very stupid. All I managed to do with a power bomb is inconvenience myself twice over with the cylinders. Heck. Yeah, doing that without the space jump is too cruel for me to even imagine. I mean, I've done it, but, you know. If all you're doing is collecting that for 100%, then you have no business doing that without the space jump already in tow. I mentioned earlier about moonfall techniques. This is where the most important one is actually used. You can get this item way early, or these items way early. Most importantly, a power bomb. Wonderful! I have lost connection. I still have the recording. I'll pause it and wait for connection to come. And that is why you record alongside your stream, so that you still have one continuous video. E. Wow, suddenly I really feel like sleeping. But we're not even at the big moment yet. The moment that makes a 200% run possible. And only in this game. This game is a very special kind of broken. You may have noticed that those little animals hummed the item acquisition fanfare, which is adorable. Their purpose is to show you that you can wall jump. Only with a very precise mock ball can you do that without losing a ton of progress. But I just nailed that on my first try because I'm just so used to it. Again, not the greatest, never will be. But I know this game like the back of my hand. I don't actually have to fight this boss in order to collect the item that it's guarding. But I will anyway, just because it's hilarious. Whee! Oh, speaking of hilarious, watch this. Anyway, here's the only boss door that doesn't close with a brown door. It's green! Because this is the guardian of the first super missile. And it's dead. In one hit. Oh, and guess what? Whee! You can shake it too. Yeah, I told you this is a Playaround. Ah! Woohoo! This requires the wave beam. E. Can't help but feel like I'm missing an E somewhere. No, I'm not. I mean, I am for now, but on the route I'm going, I know where the rest of them are. I didn't forget one along the way. Okay, good. That one didn't trigger. Yep, that's a thing too. Why wouldn't it be? You know, Nukem, when you said be right back, did you take the router with you? I mean, I know that's not true because it's right in front of me. But it doesn't say that I dropped any frames. That's the concerning part. It just randomly happened for no good reason. It might be out of my control. Well, I mean, it is out of my control regardless. But, like, that might even be out of my router's control. I'm not even sure the router did anything wrong. There's just a hiccup between me and Twitch. It does happen. If you survive this, you can live. You didn't survive it. You suck. Ah. Hello? How perfect do you want me to get that? I was right on it. You actually don't have to shine spark, you can just keep screw attacking up there, because that's a bomb block rather than a speed block. Missile! Missile! That's a cool way of doing that. Some of the item locations are a little childish, I won't lie. I won't lie and say that my favorite childhood game is completely flawless. I mean, if it were completely flawless, I wouldn't be about to do what I'm about to do. It's suddenly much, much brighter outside, despite being an hour and a half later. Good. That scary sky did not quite materialize in anything too awful. Alright. We're gonna be back in this room very shortly. What phone? Pixel perfect leap. Always satisfying. Wee. Okay, no, seriously, my eyes are super heavy all of a sudden. Glur. Always satisfying to get that with no stops. E. Yeah, I do a much more abbreviated mellow E for 100% run or 200% run. Okay. You can trivialize this with Spring Ball, of course. My mother and I used to always have to do this twice before we knew how to capture Spring Ball, and before I guess we were skilled enough to accurately place ourselves in the middle of that. All right, we should have every item now, but we're not going to the final boss yet. Not for a while, actually. What if Samus just decided one day she hasn't plundered enough? 230 missiles, 50 super missiles, and 50 power bombs just aren't good enough for her. First of all, she is objectively wrong, as I've demonstrated many times. She only needs 35 missiles, 15 super missiles, and 5 power bombs to get the job done. But let's humor her anyway. Let's see, I believe you turn off the ice beam for this. Wait, actually I don't. I hope I'm not wrong. Oh, that's not the one. Crap nuggets. That's the one. The planet appears to have fallen asleep again. Let's do this. Let's do the rest of this without ice beam. Ice beam's kind of a hindrance. If you actually go back and save after having done this, then you will actually start back at Ceres Station. But you'll retain all of the items that you had equipped, with the one exception being your regular missiles. If you save, you lose your regular missiles. But everything else, you retain. Want to see something creepy? You aren't supposed to be here yet. Let's see, where am I gonna go first? How about wrecked ship? There's not that much to do there. Now, we don't have the rain coming back from the very beginning of the game. Which is a little odd. But yes, we're still going to be collecting items. They will continue racking up. That includes energy and reserve tanks as well. By the way, I wasted a lot of time as a kid trying to just beat the living crap out of Samus's gunship. Don't bother, it can't be destroyed. Why would they even make it destructible? I don't know. Why would I ever think that? I'm a dumb kid with Asperger's syndrome. I don't even know if the Asperger's played a role in that whatsoever. I think it's just because I was a dumb kid. I was just that young that I wanted to just try out some random thought and see if it worked. Oops. So yes, Super Metroid has a built-in New Game Plus. And now we're going to use that. Don't bother going over there to collect the super missiles yet. You actually physically can't. Not until the station wakes up. You gotta like too how the mini-map blacks out when you're facing a boss. That's a nice touch. I like it. Yeah, Fantoon is not gonna know what hit him. Or it. Oh, really? I hit the bullseye there. What are you talking about, game? Anyway, dead. I even managed to erase it from existence temporarily with that powerbomb. Actually, no, I shouldn't have needed powerbomb now. Because I can screw attack! I wish that they would... how do I put this? One thing that's not retained between this and other 2D Metroid games is the fact that bomb blocks can be taken out with screw attack and with speed booster. That's no longer the case. Like, there already were specific blocks that only speed booster could take out in this game, but in future 2D Metroid games, they make you take out bomb blocks with bombs. And speed booster can only take out speed boost blocks, and screw attack can only take out screw attack blocks. Sometimes they make it so that screw attack can take out regular shot blocks. Yes, these might be the most powerful creatures in the game. Plasma Beam can't go through them. I still have no idea. Sorry. I still have no idea whether the, it's called the Spacetime Beam. I have no idea whether the Spacetime Beam was a glitch or just a really sneakily hidden feature that the developers wondered if anybody would figure out. Because, like, the way that it works is just so utterly specific. I can't help but wonder if somebody explicitly designed there to be a new game plus beam. I mean, why would triggering the Spazer and the plasma beam together result in such a specific glitch? That's yet another thing that's not a thing in any other Metroid game, because they made it so that Spazer and Plasma are compatible with one another. Or in the case of the Metroid Primes, you can only select one beam weapon at the same time. Or at any given time, rather. Well, except for Prime 3. But we'll get into that. Metroid Prime is so good. Every Metroid game is so good. Really? I don't even know why those spikes are there, but I'm kind of amused I actually managed to get hit by them. Anyway, Chozo Tech. I can't recollect that. Whee! Broken sky texture. See, it's fixed now. Anytime I get a chance to show off this game, and the fact that I know it like the back of my hand, I relish it. E. Notice as well that in the wet areas, Samus makes little splash marks with her feet anytime she moves. Well, anytime she moves on the ground. There's a lot of small details in this 16-bit game that are worth praise. In some of the more dry areas, whenever she jumps, or whenever she lands from a jump, there'll be a little dust clouds by her feet. Now, all of Meridia was not actually present in the original Metroid 1. I don't think there was a water level there because there was no gravity suit. Even though she did turn pink after acquiring the Varia suit. I think. Oh well. In any case, Zero Mission fixed all that. You don't need to play Metroid 1. Just play Zero Mission like everyone says. If you're gonna play the original Metroid game, do it with a map. There's no map in Metroid 1, or 2 for that matter. I'd say, well, it's, you know, a product of the times, but Zelda 1 had a map system. The NES could actually do that. Of course, I one-shot it this time. I one-shot the gate clip this time. Alright, real quick, before we continue, the intrinsic joy that I get out of seeing this. This isn't supposed to be a thing. Wait a minute. I just noticed that we have little... Okay, so we have dust coming off of the walls when I wall jump and splash marks there. Am I technically not underwater? I'm technically not underwater. The game actually thinks that I'm inside the glass right now. I didn't even notice this until now. But until you use a power bomb to break that glass, the game just thinks this whole area isn't underwater. I have free movement without the gravity suit. I did not notice that until right now. Alright, anyway, back to the Buzzy Beetles. And these space pirates that don't take any damage from a charge shot. I guess because they have time to prepare for you firing it? I don't know. Except you can do that from behind and it still won't work. Just shake it off. E. As a kid, I used to call the screw attack green spinning thing. Bye, Buzzy Beetles. Hey, my bed's right here, and I kind of want to close my eyes, so... I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not going to be angry at you. Oops. Wait, why did I even do that? I have the spring ball. Oh, really? I just prefer cool days in general. That is icky. Approaching disgusting. My computer's telling me that it's 26 Celsius without heat index. Some dark clouds did just roll in. They're gone now, but I can't imagine that the heat index would push it up that far if the raw temperature's only 26. So I am probably cooler than you. Temperature-wise, not not vibe-wise, not necessarily. I will say though, I've said it many times before and I'll say it again, I am genuinely shocked at how effective a ceiling fan actually is. Because the difference between not having one in San Diego and yes, having one here is massive. Like, that's probably the first thing that I look forward to turning back on anytime I have a power outage. I'm neglecting a couple items over there, but I don't really need them. Oh, hey! I can use this as an opportunity to demonstrate something else. Let's finally whip out the X-ray scope. You want to see me beat this boss in one hit? If you have the plasma beam and the X-ray scope, because the plasma beam can travel through enemies, using the X-ray scope kind of pauses time, and as long as your beam is still inside the enemy, it keeps taking damage. It's glorious. Ah! You're not supposed to have the plasma beam, of course. You're supposed to get that directly after beating Dragon. So Dragon's gonna be kind of sad. Tell you what, Dragon, I won't even destroy these things. You can have them firing at me, I don't mind. These are Dragon's children. They're nice, they won't hurt you. Dragon will, though. Oh, shoot! I can't use the X-ray scope if I'm being attacked by those things. Anyway, dead. And the children bury their mother. Or father, I'm not entirely sure. You know, as much as I do feel slightly bad for a you know, loving parent of 6 being buried by its own children, Dragon is one of the 4 bosses you absolutely must defeat in order to access Mother Brain, so them's the breaks, as the kids say. Heck, Dragon's kids probably even say that. You know something else funny about this game? If you're underwater and you keep spamming the jump button, you can just bonk your head against the ceiling for all eternity. If you're not in a fluid, I said water, but this also works if you're in fire or acid. If you're in any fluid, that actually works. If you're not, then you have to wait a certain amount of time before you're able to ascend again. Kind of. I mean, the definition of... Actually, no, not even kind of, it is. The definition of fluid is basically any substance that isn't a solid. Air is a fluid. You know, carbon dioxide is a fluid. So I guess that would include plasmas as well. Yeah, in the colloquial sense, those 2 words are pretty much one and the same, but in scientific circles, you gotta make that distinction. Or you gotta at least be aware of that distinction, I should say. Wait, do I have to get this again? I don't, but I will anyway. Because I love you. Actually, if I loved you, then I'd respect your time enough to not go through this again. I guess I hate you then. Them's the breaks. Again.
Get some help.
Thank you. You can destroy that thing, but why would you want to do that after it helps you? Yeah, that's perfectly valid. I guess specifically physics. Specifically in physics, fluid is anything that's not a solid. But in biology, yeah, fluid would be liquid. Space itself, of course, is a vacuum, which I believe... Oops. Wow, I forgot what that door was. Are you kidding me? Oh, notice the little green sparks at the edge there. I'm pretty sure vacuums are just vacuums. They don't qualify as fluids. Of course, another word for it is medium. Specifically when talking about waves and how they propagate through certain media. Sound waves, of course, require a non-vacuum in order to actually move. And light waves do not, which is good, because that means we can actually see things in space. And space is awesome. If you've heard of the term luminiferous ether, or just ether in general, you know, back in the day, like among the contemporaries of Einstein and Niels Bohr, people were trying to grasp with the idea that light truly can propagate throughout a total vacuum, and they came up with the concept of the ether, which is like a really, really tenuous medium that nevertheless still manages to get light to move through it. But the overall conclusion to whatever tests they could come up with was that no, it doesn't exist. Space really is a vacuum. Whee! I thought I might take damage from that. You can destroy these boulders, by the way, with super missiles. Do you want to when they don't give you anything back? I don't know, but you can. All right, one more stretch break, and this time I will remember. Glurp. Oh no! I think these critters right here might actually be related to Dragon. Maybe they're Dragon's cousins. You can kill those yellow things, by the way, but you really shouldn't. They each take, I think, 4 super missiles or 3 power bombs. And they're not going to give you that much in return. Kraid is about to get a face full of plasma beam, which actually is less effective than the Kraid quick kill with super missiles. Funny enough. But not by much. It's still pretty effective. Whee! Oh, the movement system in this game never gets old. I can't actually wall jump off of nothing this time. Funny. Whee! Oh, I almost got him anyway. You changed color a lot! That's another thing I really enjoyed about this game as a kid. It was easy to tell how close you were to being a boss. Its color is its own health bar. I enjoy this game a lot. I don't know if I mentioned that already. E. Just notice that the fireworks from the screw attacked enemies match the lights in the background. Could have sworn there was a door over there. Oh, there it is. Let's go this way. You guys think we have enough ammo now? Sometimes I will actually be so bored with myself that I'll just go on a 300 or 400 or even 500% run just until I get bored. The one item I'm not going to double grab is the ice beam, because that'll just turn it back on, and I wouldn't want that. I'm not going to turn the ice beam back on until we get to terrain where we have to have it on for the Metroids. Oh, this is gonna be something. Hey. Wee! Tongue. And you know something that's funny? Wait, no, I think I might have screwed it up. If you collect that or pause the game while Crocomire is roaring in discomfort. Wait, hang on, I gotta pause the game. Listen. Wrong roar. For some reason, the game plays Kraid's roar instead. I think it is fair to say that Crocomire had a bad time there. At least he's out of his misery. Now, Crocomire is actually not one of the bosses that you have to kill in order to reach Mother Brain. Which is why, of course, on any percent, I just completely ignore him and let him live! Yeah, at least until I have to, you know, start the planet self-destruction sequence. I don't think he survived that. You kind of tend to need a planet to live. Let's go this way this time. I don't know if you've noticed, by the way, but the map resets every time you you do the little New Game Plus beam as well. Like, see, we don't have anything from the Speed Booster area or Ridley's Lair. I hope you see now why I absolutely cannot play this game normal. Once you're nimble enough to do half of the stuff that you're seeing here, I mean, how can you not? Whee! Oh yeah, I actually meant to join you there, but ended up not doing it. Woe is me. Wait, I need that. I can't survive with only 74 super missiles. That was a joke. Animal. Dead animal. Oh. Mume's dog. Wow, that has so much to do with what we're talking about. Cool anecdote. I say that, but my Asperger's syndrome makes it so that I'm reminded of barely connecting things all the time myself, so... I'm making fun of you, but do understand I get it. I do that all the time. Bear shapeshift? So, animorphs? Did I ever read any of those books? Because I know they're all around the Scholastic Book Fair back then. Oh, just saying that makes me feel young again. Scholastic Book Fair. How in the world did I get that jump off? A werebear. Like a very aggressive Care Bear. Remember earlier when I said that this game doesn't really have much gravity? Yeah. He's very, very sleepy. Like you and me. Anyway, I'm gonna move on now. Oh, okay, fine. Watch this. Oh. If you... Right there. Safe spot. Keep pointing upward. He'll never hit you. You win. Screw Attack 2! Silent Edition. And we revert back to the original noise-making Screw Attack. Whee! My nose is itching a lot all of a sudden. These golden space pirates do require the charge beam, but of course if you can just screw attack right into them, you don't have to do any of that. You can hurt them in many ways, actually. Charge beam, missiles, super missiles, power bombs, or even regular bombs. If you want to waste a minute trying to kill one enemy, when you can just screw attack right into them in one fell swoop. Although, you know what? I want to go ahead and give Ridley a fair shake. This time, I'm only going to be using regular missiles. You think golden space pirates are unique to Metroid? I don't know about that. There's probably something in StarCraft along those lines. I wouldn't know. I'm not into StarCraft. You know, the funny thing is, there's a lot of nerd stuff that poker players are into. I'm not into any of them. Poker players love Magic the Gathering, StarCraft, and cryptocurrency. And I could not give less of a about any of those things. Dude, if there were other poker players who like Metroid, they'd be my OG immediately. Dead. Like, I would say, sorry, Michael Mizraki, you're my silver medal now. Now, I have seen poker players with video game related card protectors. Espen Jorstad most famously brought a Mario Kart protector to his championship run in 2022. There's also a guy in a Yoshi hat who made the final table one year. So they're out there, just... I don't know if I've ever heard them get into a long, prolonged talk about Nintendo video games. And he's like, I wish I gave a remote crap about cryptocurrency or Magic the Gathering or whatever, so that I could get into these long nerd conversations with these guys. But no. It's like a language barrier, because they are capable of going on these like 10-minute tangents at the table where they'll be blabbing about cryptocurrency, and I'll be like, I don't understand what you're saying. I cannot even enter this conversation, even if I wanted to. Good news is a lot of them are sports fans. A lot of them are sports bettors, because, you know, poker, sports gambling goes hand in hand. And of course, Las Vegas has all the sports teams now. By the way, if you thought Ridley was a little annoying, wait till we play Metroid Fusion. Newcomb, honey. Fantasy sports discussions will be there for you when you get back. It's not that big a deal. I will try my very best to not call you honey ever again. Unless, of course, I'm quoting Hoshimachi Suisei. Maybe this Playaround has gone on long enough. Thankfully, we're not doing a 300% run. That might be a little too much. There was actually an official Super Metroid guidebook that I had as a kid, which I never used because I already knew how to beat the game. It didn't actually finish. It only went up to Dragon. But it posited that you can't destroy those, you know, green gargoyles that spit blue fire at you. These guys. Well, yeah, you can, and destroying them is how you get an item. That guidebook sucked. I could have written a better guidebook at the age of 10, not even kidding. And yes, I would have been able to proofread myself as well, because I grew up with a English professor as a grandfather, so I always kind of took my my writing semi-seriously. It was only once I got a little bit more acquainted with the internet that I started intentionally uncapitalizing some of my words and whatnot, because John does that. And, like, it's John. John Boys. I wonder if it will happen again here. Nope. Oh well. Nice! Managed to plow my way through all three of them. That's pretty rare. A TAS, of course, does that with no effort whatsoever, because it's a TAS. Good job, dude. Let's waste 2 super missiles on that. No! Whoa. W, as in Wuthering Waves. A game that sure as Hivik looks like it was made by Hoyoverse, but isn't? Question mark? Oh, there's the accidental pause. I can't believe I went this far without doing that. Freezing the enemies can kind of get in your way. That's why I turned off Ice Beam. That was intentional. Look at my reserve tanks. Whee! fun little quirk. You cannot pause the game while on an elevator or in any real transition element. So, not through the door either. You also cannot pause the game when you're on the space station at Ceres. Which is why I said that if you save, you get put back into Ceres Station with whatever you had equipped. We don't need to get that twice. I made sure that I chose careful words. Ah! Because you won't be unequipping anything from there. Because that would require pausing the game, which you can't do there. And you know what? If you go back, you might be thinking, wait, that Ridley fight from the very beginning of the game, I bet that's super trivial with all the stuff equipable. It actually isn't. For some reason, every weapon does the exact same amount of damage to Ridley in that first bout with him. So you won't stop him any faster than you would normally. The problem is you will have a whole bunch of energy tanks, so he will take a lot longer to stop you, so you may as well fire at him. Damage boost. Fill up those regular missiles after spending so many of them on Ridley. I make it sound like missiles were a Christmas gift for him. Yeah, imagine a world where Samus and Ridley are actually friends. How the havoc would that work? Oh, wait, hold on. Don't forget this one. Chargers. Eagles. Sorry, it's the only NFL team that starts with E. I don't think you've ever used that one before. Oh, may as well demonstrate this. Oh, one shot. Yep, you don't actually have to fight Spore Spawn to get this super missile. E. Actually, you know what? Which one was it? I think it was this one.
Would you please stop saying that?
I feel like this is an appropriate time for that one. That didn't kill that guy. Okay. On the other side of that wall is the save point that you're supposed to use before fighting Spore Spawn. If you're a chump. I mean, if you're new to the game, they kindly put that there for you. Zoop. Ow. That wasn't very demonstrative of skill. Anyway, these cute little animals return. Yet another one shot on the tight mock ball because I'm good. Still nowhere near the best, but I'm good. I wonder if it's going to be another Metroid boss. Vegeta bot. Or will you get a chance to get revenge on General Blue from Dragon Ball OG? How'd that miss? You can shake this little gate too by wall jumping off of it. Oh. You didn't harm me at all. I couldn't even finish the sentence.
It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot.
Not that that matters at all. with all these... Oh yeah, there's another little weird quirk. The orb is the one special item you can't get twice. I'll just pretend I got it anyway. Orb! I'll play this time. Demonstrate what I said earlier. Bloop. Ah! You can also shake and rattle these things. If you're so inclined. Don't ask me why that platform's invisible and why it's the only one in the game that is such. I think those are still the only games in the universe. Well, that and Uma Musume Pretty Derby. But I think that's on the phone. I don't even know how to stream a game from the phone. Wow, have I seriously already collected every item again? Well, not quite, but I'm about to. Oh wait, I need to go fight Bomb Torizo again. This is gonna be hilarious. Oh, now I actually need my ice beam back. And you do realize that's rather low on my list of specific Fadian games to play. Alright, this time I will get a missile out of this, and I won't get a Chozo statue staring back at me. Hey, it is Metroids. Fission Metroids. A viewer request that I don't have to honor. I play what I play. Because I already have the bombs, the door closes anyway. This allows you to listen to the creepy ambience. I assume that was my mother that pinged me earlier on Facebook. Oh, okay. Okay. Taste super missile. Dead. Oh wow, it actually gave me super missiles, even though you're not even supposed to have them at this point. I'm kind of surprised by that. Heck. It's actually harder when you have the high jump boots. Crateria actually is the one place where you don't lose the map. Like it's still there after you commit in-game New Game Plus with the Spacetime Beam. And nailed that perfectly again. Yay me. E. Ooh, that was close. Miss Isle? Where's Mr. Isle? I should mute myself the rest of the stream. At least I remembered the E. And now I believe we had everything twice. Why do I amuse myself most with the worst jokes? Could be the Asperger's, could be John Boy's. Okay, so here's where I can stand up again because this takes over about a minute to go down anyways. hold on, the Wii U gamepad's battery is flashing. I didn't realize that 3 hours was all I could handle. Alright, I'm going to be playing the rest of the game less than comfortably, just so you know. Good thing there's not much left. There go the points. There go the points. The Metroids themselves, by the way, are where some of the worst graphics show up on the stream because the capture card is running at 30 FPS. Metroids are not supposed to look like that. Or at least OBS is running at 30 FPS, I don't know. Ow. It is actually possible to get out of this whole situation without... Yeah, that. I can escape, but you really shouldn't. Because it completely... with your momentum the rest of the way through. What I can show you, if I time it right, I did not time it right.
Hello, I'm a piece of garbage.
Ordinarily, this is where I would load up on health, but I don't have to because I have reserve tanks. What I will do, however, is take off gravity. Wait, no. Take off Varia suit for a very specific reason. Now, normally when you take off Varia, but not gravity, there's no change. You still take the same amount of damage, you still have, you know, free movement in fluids, and high temperatures don't bother you, and I just realized I don't actually have every item again. I missed one missile, I have no idea where it was. But it's too late now. You literally can't go back. So yeah, that's what happens when you go into reserve tanks. But for some reason, when Mother Brain's final attack hits you and you don't have the Varia suit on, you take twice the damage, and that allows you to do something absolutely glorious. First, I gotta not screw up the fight, though. Or screw up getting to the fight. I really can't afford any mistakes. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Are you gonna do something? We got this. Alright, so I'm gonna take twice the damage I normally would. Boop. Which allows me to get up and have free movement again throughout what's supposed to be a scripted event. My sprite is a little screwed up here, but don't worry, we're fine. I can continue attacking from here. I shouldn't, because she actually doesn't take any damage right now. Now she'll take damage. And my sprite screwed up again because that's actually where... That's actually where I would have... If I were still standing on the ground, I would have been forced back into my usual, you know... recovering from an injury type of sprite. Use missiles the rest of the way. Because I have twice as many energy tanks as I should, this is going to take a while. Notice that Mother Brain isn't even actually reaching the Metroid anymore with her attacks. because the Metroid already has all its health taken down. Alright, don't do anything here. It can completely screw things up. And here. Yeah, if you're caught actually doing something around that time, you can have the entire game block up. I wouldn't recommend that. Oh, look. Remember that whole trick on Gold Teresa where I just stood underneath him and he couldn't hit me?
Gameplay.
Alright, I'll give you a chance. Oh, fun little fact. If you hit her bomb with your regular bombs, they'll go away. That doesn't work with power bombs, but regular bombs will actually do that. Super missile! I love randomly remembering sound effects that nobody uses. I should give these space pirates a chance. Use regular missiles on them too. Ugh. Ow! You can live for 2 minutes and 17 seconds longer. Here we go! You remember those little critters from before? So do I. And so does Samus. We're not leaving without them. Go! 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 Oops. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this 200% play around. Which genuinely was... Why is it off center? Did I do that? Or is that the game just flipping me off for messing with it so much? Anyway, watch closely. There's gonna be a little dot streaking across the screen right there. That was the animals we just freed. That little streak does not appear if you just skip over them. Even with all that goofing around, we still easily cleared the 3-hour in-game time threshold for the best ending. I.e., the one where she takes off the most clothes. Don't Thong Kong me, it's their idea. It's a tradition throughout the entire Metroid series. I always love that Samus programmer Isamu Kubota. I bet they actually named the character after the guy who programmed her. course, that would imply that Isamu Kubota programmed her in Metroid 1 as well. Oh wow, there's so many beautiful clouds out there. Billowing, thundery clouds. But the sun's hitting them from behind, too. You gotta like also that when planets blow up in Super Metroid, they turn into the Sombrero Galaxy. It's like that scene in like every anime ever where like you get a look at the pretty girl and then just like, and then you look at her for like 5 seconds and then she immediately murders you for being a pervert. There's like 800,000 anime clips all over the internet that are just that scene, but with slightly different characters. Sometimes anime is not very original. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Next time I will move on to the next game in this series, Metroid Fusion. Well, the next 2D Metroid game in the series, because Metroid Other M takes place between this and Fusion. But I also don't own Other M, so I won't be playing that. Diamond, Ruby, Topaz, Emerald, Sapphire, Amethyst. I'll let you choose which one I upgrade. Topaz. Alright. Yes. Join me next time for Metroid Fusion, where the real final boss is the sound design.